How's it going, guys? This is Kyle Newman. Here to give my presentation today. As you know, I was not in class today due to the wonderful driving conditions, and now I am forced to make a YouTube video that is going to be shot through my phone. I'm going to be reading you part of my presentation, and I may cut out at times if I have to attend my actual job that they're paying me to do. So for now, what I'm doing is the justification of the Iraq War. We're basically going to see if the war itself had any just properties or was justifiable by any means rather than the ones that they initially declared. So I'm going to be flipping the camera back and forth between the actual slides that I have to show you what I would have shown you in class, and then just me narrating things of such. So here's the first slide. That's just the initial slide, justification for the Iraq War. As we scroll down, basically there's my research topic, just stating that, had the Iraq War, was it justifiable? Is it, we're looking at this to see if the Iraq War itself, like I sound like I'm reiterating myself, but justifiable, and can you use it in future events, analyzing things like that. It's definitely important to look at the United States, if it was an aggressor or not, if it was, if they were acting solely on their behalf for, financial gains or whatever they wanted to get out of the war. We're going to be overlooking at how the war was conducted, things of such. So I'll scroll down to the next slide. This slide is basically stating it's background facts and questioning the invasion. There was, as you know, September 11th. There was a large rally for us to intervene in the Middle East to take care of the terrorism that was going on there that needed to be taken care of. So initially, the idea for the war had good standings. It was meant to go in there, bring stability to an unstable area of the world. We know that there was some ties between Al Qaeda and the Iraq government themselves. The initial invasion was launched in March of 2003, ran all the way to May of 2003, and then you have the war that came after that is more or less still ongoing, depending on how you look at it. Many criticize, though, that the initial invasion and the war itself was a largely overfunded stunt that accomplished little to nothing and actually brought more instability to the nation. The planning itself was pretty poor. As you go to dig in deeper, you come to find out that there was planning for the initial invasion, and the invasion went somewhat rather well. But the resulting war did not. It caused many casualties, civilian and military-wise. We'll talk about that later on down the road. And after the initial invasion, the U.S. was met with much opposition, not only from the people of Iraq but around the world as well. There was, as you know, there was a Spain bombing in Madrid that was a result due to intervention in Iraq through Spain. So that did not help our cause at all. That other nations that think that they're going to help, they're actually not. So let's see what else we got. This is just after invading Iraq, what came afterwards. Let's see, Yeah, that was the thing. After the invasion itself isn't the main topic, it's more or less the war that comes down the line. Following the invasion, there was a mass uprising of militia groups, people that were once normal day civilians in Iraq that ended up taking up arms in order to get us out of their country, because they felt, and justifiably, we didn't have any right to be there. We were in a foreign nation invading on them. They had Saddam in there that was removed, and that came of that was good, that came of that. But other than that, what we brought afterwards was not what any country would want on their people. No government would want that. Reforming, there was little reform made. It was more or less stagnant. We ourselves had not made much movement in bringing stability to the country, or doing anything as well as structuring it that the people wanted. Civilian casualty just continued to rise as well. That'll be talked about in a minute. This is just ongoing results of the war that came out. By 2006, we brought the country to a brink of civil war. We had basically intervened in a nation that, yes, was having problems with its initial government, but it was, more or less stable for the most part. So we had done that. Like I said, we had forced them into a civil war. We had civilian deaths were skyrocketing. In the one statistic, it's in October of 2006, over 3,000 civilians were killed in a single month. You can't justify that. There had been a change in tactics, though, resulting in that very, very poor year of 2006 and 2007. You see a surge of initial ground troops to bring some stability back to the country. All right. The aftermath of the war. In 2011, we started pulling troops out. Like I said, we destabilized the nation. We had no justification for what we did there. We have no rhyme or reason. If you look at things like the just war theory, they do not apply at all to what we did. We brought nothing but problems for the nation, as long as killing innocent people as well. Like I said, the war itself was started on rumors and false information that they later found out to be false. Like I said, there was no justification for this. That's what I've come out of. That's what I found out of this research. That there's we had no right being there after our initial invasion. We brought little to no help, and if anything, we've led to the current events that are now happening in Iraq is more or less due to our intervention. So I guess if you guys have comments, just leave them below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good winter, guys. Stay safe.